But one other thing I want to talk about is that you're married.
Yeah.
So as an entrepreneur,
Yeah.
is it difficult to kind of sometimes balance your spending time with the other half and then spending time on? Because I feel like the reason why I'm getting to know all this, because I don't know, right now I'm spending almost 12, 14 hours just working. And I'm like, how will I give enough time? Not that I don't want to give time, but it's just that I enjoy doing this thing so much as well.
Of course. That's a great question. So firstly, I'll just say, sometimes we are working 16 hours, me and my wife, next to each other. So she'll have a laptop, I'll have mine. But it feels like we haven't seen each other all day or we haven't spoken. Sometimes we'll go to bed and we're like, you're right. And that's the first time we've actually spoken the day. So it can still be distant even though we're together. So obviously when I first invested in property, the goal was to get her out of work. So she now just does voluntary 1 day a week that she likes to do, she chooses to do. So we do work together 7 days a week, pretty much at home, 6-7 days. I'd say we're lucky because when we first got married, again, we both kind of had a fixed mindset. She was a pharmacist. I'd got my degree. We always thought both got 9 to 5s, we'll be happy. Yeah. And then I started this personal development journey, and I'm very grateful and very fortunate that she kind of embraced it as well. So what I was doing was when I took her to that property event or when I took her to a seminar, she'd come along with me and she'd listen. And she's very intelligent. So she kind of understood everything. And then we kind of almost was like, we could do this. We could get this life where we dictate what we do. So it was actually a conscious decision that she was like, why don't you go into property full time? I'll stay at work for a bit. And then once you do well in property, I'll come out of work. And then hence Health Excel, we essentially started our business. So I was very fortunate that we had that relationship. So I think something for yourself, I'm not giving you marriage advice here, by the way, but one of my best mates is in as an entrepreneur. Because one of my best mates is in the same position. And he had this same anxiety because he loves his work. He loves the stuff he does. And it was, you now need to find a partner who can accept that this is part of your life. Like Jats is an entrepreneur, and an entrepreneur means long hours. It means sometimes when you say, I want a holiday, we're thinking, well, that's a week of work. And do you know what I mean? Like all those are the things that come with it. And if you can find someone who will be supportive, but then compliment you. So I'm very, I'd say like scatterbrain. My brain's all over the place. I'm trying to do like 100 things at once. And I'm more creative and visionary. My wife's very pragmatic and she's organized. So like she'll keep everything ticking along how it should be.
It's basically your weakness is the strength she
Absolutely.
has.
And vice versa. So it works really, really well. So I'm fortunate. I have no complaints. Obviously as well, when I started property for the first 4 years, people think entrepreneurship or property or whatever it is fun because you only see the fun side. It's a lonely game sometimes. You know, you're by yourself and sometimes your thoughts aren't the greatest thoughts to be left with.
Yes.
When you've got no one else to talk to. So having her around, I can bounce them off, or we can almost have like therapy sessions, and that just helps us as well.
I think that's one reason why I always tell the guys that I want to get married early. Just sometimes I can have a therapy session, and I think that's really important as an entrepreneur. And I think that's a great study. I'm sure, I don't know if you've heard it from Jay Shetty, that men prefer to get electric shocked rather than staying alone with their thoughts for 15 minutes. And that's a crazy study because I was trying to think, I'm like, can I stay 15 minutes with my thoughts? And I was like, I could, but that's going to drain me for like 2 hours or 3 hours of the entire day as well.